Welcome everybody. Super excited today to be able to field a lot of questions, share some uh, interesting asset classes people are investing in and what they're doing. So I'm very excited about today. I'm going to give it another minute before we get going. Welcome everybody here. As you chime in here, go ahead. You can go in the chat box and tell me where you're listening in from or logging in from today. I'm in California today. I decided to come outside. The weather is perfect. North Carolina, I like it. Texas, Iowa, NOLA, Florida, LA. All right. Oregon, Michigan. Welcome everybody. Alabama. Is it snowing anywhere still? It's not. I don't think it is, right? I don't think it's snowing anywhere. Definitely not in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I think it. Good. All right. I'm going to get started here. Welcome everybody. Today I've prepared something a little bit different, as well as I'm excited to share some different kind of asset classes that people are using in their self-directed IRA that you might not have heard of. But I'm also going to leave plenty of time for questions and answers today. I am outside today. Purpose, I wanted to kind of change it up. So I think I've got great service, so all should be well. So welcome everybody. I didn't talk about sports today. I'll save that for another day. My family is always engaged in whatever sporting events going on. So those of you from LA might be in and out today because I know there's a big LA game. That's my only sports stuff I'll talk about. Let me jump in to what I've kind of prepared for you today. First, to get going here, thanks everyone for joining. I know a lot of you, there's names that I recognize there that was chiming in. Some of you are new. Today, I'm going to share with you some of the basics of self-directed IRA, but some of my story and success, but also some things in particular that I'm seeing other investors invest in, and then answer a lot of questions. So as always, our disclaimer here, we are a passive custodian, and I'll talk about what that means here shortly. But at Horizon Trust Company, we do not sell investments. We don't give advice on investments. We really want to give you more and more education on the do's and don'ts, and also on how to really maximize your retirement account and frankly unlock it. And if you're listening in today and you happen to be one of those individuals that has an old retirement account or an old 401k and didn't realize you could be investing it in so many other things that maybe your advisor's not telling you, you're in for a treat. And if you are one of our clients that work with us at Horizon Trust Company, I also am going to share with you some specific details and also answer some questions for you guys, what you might be seeing or not seeing, and try to get to most of those questions here towards the end. So thanks again for joining us. And to get started first, I just want to share a couple things that kind of resonated and created this message for you today, but also is I think some interesting stats. So first, the subject that I'm going to talk about today really is relatable to at least 97 million Americans. So it's not this is not a subject that is just for a few people. Of the 97 million Americans on this subject, they represent over $4.5 trillion in this subject. Now, what this graph is showing is probably, you might be able to read it and understand it. I call this the stock HAP. Some of you probably heard me talk about this before. It's the hope and pray. If you are one of those individuals who have a retirement account and you are just hoping and praying that it goes how your advisor has told you, you're buying stocks, most likely are mutual funds, this graph means something to you. It doesn't mean a whole lot to me, but it does as a reminder that if you're investing in things or asset classes you don't understand, you should be prepared to stomach this. This is what a lot of people retirement accounts look like as they go up and down. The power of compounding. And yes, don't worry, all these things do have a purpose at the end I'm going to share with you. This slide is near and dear to my heart. for purposes of sharing the importance of compounding interest. And I'll talk about this more as well. But for you individuals out there that might have a small or medium-sized retirement account, let's say it's even $100,000, which it could be a significant account, but also could put away $1,000 a month over a 20-year period. Look what those numbers represent. At an 8% return compounded and a 16% return, obviously it's a double rate of return. Look at the difference. It's over $3 million, just 3 times better, 4 times better, frankly, by getting a higher interest rate, but by using compounding interest. Many of you are investing outside of your retirement account, investing in Bitcoin and precious metals and real estate and notes. When you're investing in these asset classes, and if you continue to pay taxes on those gains, you most likely are going to make a lesser return net after taxes. And individuals that use this concept that I'm here to talk to you about and share with you today will make a higher return investing in the exact same kind of investments. There's a couple months ago, a little trip. I don't know. This is my little newest addition, little Summer, and my lovely better half, Jessica. I'll go back to all this. This is my first deal I did in real estate that someone else funded with their IRA. And so this is kind of where I want to start my presentation. I just shared with you HAP, which is kind of hoping and praying that the stock market is good when you go to retire. I'm sharing with you kind of lifestyle with my love and little one. My first real estate deal 23 years ago that I did with an IRA. And I'm sharing with you the power of compounding interest. And also something I'm going to talk a lot about towards the end of this presentation. For those of you individuals looking for a place to find your next business partner, your next partner for not just your business, but also in real estate. I know when I first started in real estate, I needed to find lenders, I needed to find partners. And I, at the time, had no idea how big this opportunity is. And I'm here to share with you today that there's over, at this point, actually, this slide about a few months old, over 97. We can talk about that as well, how that works, how to talk to individuals as well. And definitely throughout this, I'm going to remind you, ask questions in the question and answers box. I've got Claudia here, my team, Alex. They're going to be helping me answer the questions towards the end. And also, I always forget to do this because maybe I'm old school. But you should definitely follow me on social media, just stuff, and really talking about the taxes and benefits. And frankly, that's one of the things here I'm going to talk about today is sometimes we just need to be a little bit smarter about what we do. We don't necessarily have to make bigger returns or take bigger risks. We just need to know the vehicles in which the wealthy are really having success. And this is near and dear to my heart for many, many reasons. But I know first and foremost, my mom, I remember her opening up the retirement statements in the mail, and really all she would do is see if the market went up or down, and then she'd file it away. She didn't really know ever where that money was being invested, except for an individual who was helping them invest their funds, but just was hoping and praying literally that when she goes to retire, that her money is there for her to retire. I can tell you that the trajectory where she was going, it was not going to be there. And you might feel the same. You might be in that same boat today where you're like, crap, I'm not prepared. I haven't been, preparing, and I don't know how much I can save. And let me just kind of ease those pains and let you know that it's not too late. First and foremost, if you're listening to this today, we're going to show you something that many, many Americans are doing today and have for like decades. This subject of self-directing gives you complete control and flexibility of using your retirement funds and investing in alternative asset classes that are not so alternative. They're alternative because it's not the typical thing, but it's real estate, it's gold, it's businesses. We keep saying it's alternative. I just say, I really think it's not alternative anymore, because if you think about it, these are things that people are investing in every single day. They're just not on your menu of options for you to invest in using retirement funds. A self-directed IRA is simply an account, a vehicle in which allows you to unlock and use your funds in different asset classes. That's it. So if you're listening to this and watching today, let's just talk about who qualifies for a self-directed IRA. And sorry if this is a little bit basic for those of you that are been with me for a minute. I'm going to get through these slides very quickly, and then we're going to dive into some deeper stuff as well. But before I do so, I wanted to share with you here a self-directed IRA and individuals that can qualify for what I'm talking about today, which means unlocking their retirement funds. I say unlocking because typically your retirement funds are locked up in just the options that they're sharing with you. That's it. And that's why I say unlock, if you're able to kind of get access to those funds and pick and choose where you're going to put your money. So those who qualify for a self-directed IRA is really anyone that has an IRA, or anyone that's got an old 401k or 403b or 457 or TSP. And there's actually other types of accounts as well that qualify. The number one kind of accounts that don't qualify if you have a retirement account are those that have a current 401k with your current employer, or a current 403b or 457 that you have with, if you're a school teacher or you work in the government or with the city, et cetera. Those accounts, until you retire, most likely you're unable to self-direct. That being said, most of you, in fact, most of America in the last 7 years has changed or lost jobs. What does that mean? You might have a $10,000, $15,000, or $25,000 or more old retirement account there, and you're not exactly sure what it's doing, and you're not maybe particularly that happy about it. What I love about what we do at Horizon Trust Company is we teach individuals how to use those retirement accounts to invest in what they know and understand. And so I'm going to keep going back to that a bit. And as I do so, and if you don't mind here, Alex or Claudia, if you can put in the chat or maybe in the chat box, there's a link that you can go to that you can set an appointment and meet my team. My team is very capable. We help hundreds of individuals every single month move over a portion of or all of their retirement account and start self-directing. And I guess that's one important thing as I teach this, and maybe you've heard this many times before, or you've met me before. You can kind of tiptoe into self-directing. If you're one of these individuals who's like, hey, look, I like this concept. It's new, even though it's been over 40 years now that's been out. You can move a portion of those retirement accounts that I just listed before right here. You can move a portion of from wherever it's out to a self-directed account. And so let me just also clarify one other thing. A self-directed account is not a particular IRA. It is a descriptive word of what you can do with the IRA that's held by Horizon Trust. Horizon Trust Company, we've been around for about 14 years. We help individuals. When I say help, we're a custodian. We hold the account on your behalf. And our job is to report to the IRS any contributions and distributions that you make inside your retirement account. What we also do is we help you get these accounts set up. And that is our main priority, is make sure you do it the right way. So now going back to this slide, what can you invest in using your self-directed? So once you've got a retirement account and you've established and moved it over, a portion of or all of it, to Horizon Trust Company, you now have the capability of investing it in different asset classes, from tax liens to wholesaling to different joint ventures or syndications to private funds, oil and gas, Bitcoin, precious metals. I think I might have already said, but the list is almost unlimited. There are a few prohibited things you can't invest in, like life insurance on yourself, as well as arts and collectibles. But in general, most things you can invest in. There's some rules and ins and outs of what you can and cannot do, but most importantly, most of those rules are who you're investing with. And I'll get into that as well, who you're investing with and who you can't invest with when you're using your personal IRA. Let me just say one more time, at Horizon Trust Company, not only do we help individuals, we've helped hundreds every single month open up their retirement accounts with us. We've got thousands, almost 10,000. We're creeping up to that number, over $1 billion in assets now, where we help individuals get in and out of their different investments. What does that mean? It means when you call us and say, hey, look, I have a retirement account with you, and it's a Roth self-directed account, and I'd like to invest with so-and-so or invest in this real estate deal, we make sure that the documentation is completed correctly. And that's an important thing. You don't want to be investing something and not have your IRA secured. So that's how we help you, making sure that we kind of check everything before your funds go out into these different investments. My team is very capable. They see lots and lots of investments. We're going to talk about some of those here towards the end. I want to share with you some of the unique things that I've seen in investing. But I would say overall, 75 to 70% of our investors are investing in real estate. The other 25 to 30% are investing in businesses and Bitcoin and precious metals, et cetera, which we can help you with as well as far as that process goes. So one other thing I wanted to share as well is when you have a retirement account set up with us at Horizon Trust, it is a self-directed Roth, or it is a self-directed traditional, or a self-directed simple, or SEP IRA, or a self-directed 401k. So the same rules that apply to your current retirement account still apply. The rules don't change when you come over to us at Horizon Trust Company. The rules are put in place by the government, by the IRS, that tells us and tells you what you can do, in particular, taking distributions and contributions to your account. They are all exactly the same. The self-directed part is what's unique about us at Horizon Trust. At Horizon Trust, we help individuals, once they've chosen what they want to invest in, to get the documentation and the process very smooth. And the other thing I'll add too is all trust companies, for the most part, are created equal, meaning we all can do the same thing. The only difference that I feel, and I know at this point, it's why I started the trust company 14 years ago, is we are very fast and we are very user-friendly, meaning you're not going to get these computers and AI. As much as my staff wants to create more AI, you're not going to have AI answering questions, nor are you going to have AI filling out documentation for you. This is your retirement money. This is money that you've worked 10, 20, 30, or 40 years for. We want to help you with the process, hold your hand, help you fill out the application and documentation to make the process as smooth as possible. We do this over and over and over again. So what are some benefits? And this is one thing that I wanted to share, that some benefits of a self-directed 401k. This has been a hot topic. A lot of people talk about self-directed Roths, self-directed simple and SEPs and traditionals. Let's talk about why an individual might open up a self-directed 401k. This is one of the reasons right here. Now, when you have a self-directed 401k, and I think I'm just checking my other slide. Nope, I should back up. Individuals that qualify for a self-directed 401k are business owners. If you are listening to this and you have a business or an LLC or a corporation, you most likely qualify of setting up and establishing a 401k. Why would you want to set up a self-directed 401k over a traditional IRA? This is typically someone that wants a little bit more flexibility, is one of the options, and what this slide shares with you. I'm going to go over this first. So if you have a traditional self-directed or Roth self-directed, you cannot borrow money against it. If you take any distributions from it, you'll have to pay taxes and a penalty. When you have a self-directed 401k, you're able to borrow against it. And right here shows you some of those rules. You can borrow up to 50% or 50,000. What does that mean? If you have a 401k, if you have a $150,000 401k, you can borrow up to $50,000. That's the maximum. But if you have a $50,000 retirement account with us, a 401k, you can borrow up to 50% or 25,000. Now, when you borrow that, there's no penalties. What's really unique about that is, when you borrow it, you've got to pay it back. It's still a loan, but it's a loan from your 401k. So how does that work? You borrow the 401k, you borrow the loan from your 401k, and now you pay it back. And typically the rate is prime plus 1 or 2. So you're going to be paying anywhere from 6 to 8%, let's say, and you're paying that back. But who are you paying it back to? You're paying it back to your retirement account. So the interest that you're paying your retirement account. Unlike if you're paying interest on a car or on some high credit card expense, you're paying it to somebody else. You've now just become the bank on this loan. This is one of the great things and great tools people use for paying off expensive debt. Also, what's unique about this loan is it doesn't matter what you use it for. You can use it to go to Las Vegas and put it on black. Don't recommend that, but you can invest it in buying a home. You can invest it for medical expenses or starting a business. All those things are fine. Just know it's a loan, so you can make payments back to your 401k plus interest as well. That's what's one of the very, I'd say creative things and great things about a 401k. Most people, I'd say, if I had to give a percentage, and Claudia can correct me a little bit later, maybe only 75%, but I'd say 75 to 80% of our clients do not need or use their account for a loan. It's just nice to know that you have that option to go borrow that money if you need to in an emergency. Most people are using those funds to double down, compound their interest, and invest in different alternative assets. So let me give you an example of just that. Of if you have let's just say a high interest rate, in this example, a 21% credit card, or if you were to borrow that money and put it in a 401k, look at the difference. A $50,000 loan, let's say you have a $50,000 loan, or you want to pay education or whatever you want to use for it. But let's just say it's a credit card. It's an easy thing to work through. Over 5 years, you'd pay $31,000 in interest and $81,000 in payments. And you see that monthly amount on the left-hand side in the green box, $1,352. That's the monthly amount you'd be paying towards that high interest. Now, if you took a loan from your self-directed 401k and took that $50,000 and paid off that high interest that you might have. By the way, this interest could be a hard money loan. You might be listening to this and have expensive real estate. You might have a business partner that you want to buy out rather than, having them paying them distributions, etc. That could be an expensive, really expensive partner. You can borrow $50,000 and at an 8% interest rate over 5 years. This is the numbers. You'd be paying about $1,000 a month. It's only $10,000 in interest, $60,000 in payments. Look at the difference just by changing who's the banker. You're now the banker. You're using your 401k, your retirement account in this case scenario. And frankly, just having the knowledge of being able to use it for savings is a really nice thing in a 401k. Now, I want to remind you as well, everyone doesn't have. Oh, there you go. Everyone doesn't need to use a 401k for a loan. It's just nice to have it. Nor do you have to have a solo K. I want to be super clear. Most of our clients that work with us at Horizon Trust Company, I'd say close to 70% do not have a 401k. So I'm not saying everyone has to have this. I just want to share with you, this is one type of account that can be very sexy for those individuals that want to put away a lot of money, but also have some nice benefits. Speaking of putting away a lot of money, this is another really nice benefit of a 401k. You're able to put away and contribute when you're doing contributions based upon how much money you're paying yourself. And our team can kind of help share with you what W-2 income you need to be paying yourself in your business. So you therefore can put up $68,000. Now, that's $68,000 that you can put this year in 2024 is a combination of what you, the employee, are going to contribute. Now that happens to be you. Chat box. Okay. Can everyone hear me? Okay, I'll keep going here. Unless this had a weird notice here. So that okay. Can someone put in the chat that they can hear me okay? I just want to make sure that you guys are good. Yeah, okay, good. Thank you. So, and I guess since I did this abrupt stop here real quick, let me just share again. If you're listening to this and you want to know if you qualify for a 401k, and you're just not sure, there's something, you can set up an appointment. Alex has put the link in there, put the link in the chat. You can set an appointment with us. We'd love to help you get your set up. It's a very simple process that'll prohibit it. This is something that I don't usually spend too much time on, but I think it's important for you to understand. Some things that you cannot invest in the left-hand side are the arts and collectibles, precious metals that are unapproved. What does that mean? There's certain metals and coins that the IRS does not allow you to invest in. I won't get political here, but like if there's a coin that has Trump's face on it or Biden's face on it or whoever it is that's running, those coins most likely are not approved by the IRS, probably for good reason in those two examples. That being said, there's a certain percentage of gold that needs to be in the actual gold that are applicable that individuals can invest in using their retirement account. But IRAs can actually buy physical gold. Now, we can talk to you how that works. We've got lots of people these days because of inflation and the dollar has changed so much. The value of the dollar has gone down. people are buying a lot more hard assets like gold, or even, I wouldn't say it's a hard asset, but it's a different asset, right? There's a limited value of it, Bitcoin. And so that you can as well. You can't buy alcohol. You can't buy collectibles either. The other thing, as far as prohibited goes, and this is something that comes up often, we can, again, if you have any questions, go to the chat box. We can come back to this slide if needed. You can see on the right-hand side the family tree. Who can you and can you not lend to or invest with using a retirement account? Right here. It's linear. It's vertical. It's not horizontal. So it's basically you cannot lend to your parents or to children and vice versa. They are off limit. Could I lend to my brother? Yes. Could I lend to my brother-in-law? Yes. I didn't create these rules. There's some kind of magic behind them. It makes a little bit of sense, at least in my family, why that might or might not be the case. Maybe in your family, you could laugh at that and chuckle and say, okay, well, this makes sense why. But these are the rules of who you can and cannot invest in with. Now, before here shortly, we're going to go to some questions. I want to talk about how to find money. My first deal I showed you in this presentation was a condo project, or a condo, I should say, not a project, but it was a project, but it was a condo, a single family unit. It was a single bedroom actually, and I needed $60,000. I didn't have any money. Didn't come from money. Banks weren't really lending me money. Didn't understand banks too well at the time. But someone had taught me the subject we're talking about today, self-directing. The reason why I shared with you in the beginning the 97 million Americans and the $4.5 trillion is because I learned at a young age that an individual could be my partner using their IRA. So if you're in that boat and you're listening today and you're like, hey, look, I want to flip a deal, or I want to partner in a deal, or I need some more additional capital from my business, or I like a real have 25,000 and I want and I need 50,000 around you that you have relationships with that are fed up with the stock market, or want to do a little bit something different with a portion of their money. Not all financial advisors are bad. I've got a couple great ones that I have myself to the IRA as well. You too can do the same thing, but this subject is near and dear to my heart because most likely every single one of you, if you're entrepreneurs and you're building a business and you're looking to invest in real estate, I was, and still today at times on certain deals, when I'm looking for additional capital, I don't have it. There's people all around you that have retirement accounts. This subject should be near and dear to you. So if you're one of those individuals who has a retirement account, absolutely, first and foremost, understand what a self-directed IRA is. Get an account set up with us at Horizon Trust Company, and then you'll be ready to take action when the next wholesale deal comes up or the next opportunity comes up. But you'll also be teaching other individuals about this subject. Like I did I did it for 11 years before I started a trust company. I taught other individuals how to use their retirement funds to either partner with me or to lend to me. And the amount of individuals who are just kind of done with the stock market and want to try something else is a huge amount of people. So you might be on that boat, you might not be, but there's a good chance if you're having a hard time finding partners or partnerships or monies for your next deals, there's a good chance that a self-directed IRA is all around you. Not a self-directed IRA, an IRA or retirement account is all around you, which could be then self-directed. This is something that I would spend as a real estate investor. I share the story because people say like, oh man, I like this subject. How do I do it? Where does it begin? And I can tell you where it began for me is I learned at a young age that people didn't really want to talk to me about real estate because I was 22 years old. And so they all thought they knew more about real estate than me. And maybe they did, but I don't think all of them did. But number two, they just really, besides that, everybody did real estate. And so I was just another young punk kid talking about real estate. So I had to change my message. And so this is the thing that I'd share with you. If you're looking to find money and you're looking to find a partner, there's a good chance that individuals that that you have a current relationship could most likely have a retirement account they're unhappy with. So the thing that I start bringing up is the way you talk to them. Did you know that you could use your retirement funds and partner with me on my next deal? Did you know that? Instead of, hey, do you want to partner in my next real estate deal? And what's cool about when you're using retirement funds, when you're working with somebody else, you and that person get to negotiate the terms of that contract. So it's not like a typical hard money lender, right? When we go to hard money lenders, or if we're going to someone for equity, like they tell you what the terms are. You don't get to say, hey, look, I'm going to pay you 8%. You don't get to say that. How it works is the hard money lender says, you're going to pay me this for the money. When dealing with IRAs, you and the IRA owner get to negotiate and come up with amicable returns that are win-wins for everybody. Now, on the other side of that, the flip side of that, for those individuals here that have a retirement account, you also are in control. So you might come, if someone's saying, hey, I want to partner, I'm looking to borrow some money on a deal, and you want to partner with them on it, you can go to them and say, hey, look, you're paying me 16%, not 8%, because 8% over 20 years is only 1.1 million. I got to earn 16% in my retirement account, therefore, so I could have $4 million in that account. So you get to call those shots when dealing with private money with individuals. It is a game changer. So where and when, and learning about these self-directed days. I've been learning about them since the young age that I shared with you, but where can you learn more? You can be learning a lot more really in your communities. There's so much opportunity in your social media communities, in the RIAs that you might be in, etc. So there's just so many opportunities for you to be learning where the money's at. People are with it, not with it. And then just be an educator, of self-directed for others. So let me, I'm going to go to questions here in a second. I got part of my crew here. I don't know if there's any dog lovers here, but got my golden doodle here. We're 80 pounds. He's the boss. So yeah, this is real live time with Mr. Bear. Claudia loves Mr. Bear. He shows up in the office every once in a while. Anyway, I'd like to go and just share with you just the simple process here as we wrap up and go to questions. So the process for an individual, if you're listening to this retirement account or wants to share with somebody the steps of opening up a retirement account, it's as simple as the application's filled out. We get your account funded. What does that mean? We help the monies get transferred over from wherever it's at. Let's say it's at Fidelity or Charles Schwab or TD Ameritrade. Wherever you might be investing right now, or your old 401k or TSP, will to your access to. When I basically notice, please send these funds, X amount of dollars, to title or to this entity or this private placement memorandum. So that's the next step. That with the documentation needed. Now we do have some people, some individuals, and Claudia can attest to this, that open up accounts with us, and then they fill out the direction of invest and they send it to us, and they're like, "Hey, send my money to XYZ LLC." And we're like, well, hold on a second. We need the proper documentation with that LLC showing that LLC has ownership of your IRA. So that's important as well. So we want to make sure that you are protected, that the titling is accurate when investing using your retirement funds. This is something that we do over and over every single day. And lastly, once we get that documentation, we process in 1 to 2 business days, we send out the funds. Our special sauce is really our team, our boutique team and firm, where we help people get things done very quickly. And that is our goal, is speed. And hopefully, and I know obviously there's times where people get, there's always times I think where people get frustrated. We care. We care about you. We care about your retirement account, no matter how big or small. If it's $5,000, for those of you listening today who want to set up a retirement account for the first time, you can email us and say, hey, look, I don't have a retirement account. This all sounds cool, but I don't have one. We'll help you with that. We'll teach you how to set up your own retirement account with us at Horizon Trust Company and put your first $5,000 there. So the only other thing, and I'll go back here, my email is Greg Herlean at Horizon Trust Company, horizontrust.com. We're going to answer a lot of questions here, Claudia, or answer any questions that are on here. Sometimes when it's just myself, rather than when I have guests, I get going real fast or sometimes really slow. I felt like I was on point, but I did go a little bit fast. So hopefully, Claudia, you can tell me where I missed. And besides this slide, so I didn't skip over this on purpose. I wanted to go back to this. you can definitely join us. If you are a Horizon Trust Company client of ours right now, you can join us at the Hot Topic Corner. Get it, HTC. I wondered why they came up with Hot Topic Corner, and follow us and join our Facebook group. And there you can learn, where you can communicate with other clients of ours, ask questions, learn more. Our staff's on there as well to help answer questions real time. So it's a great place if you're looking to join and get more information if you're a client of ours. But again, the link's in the chat. My email is here. You can feel free to email me as well. Set up an appointment. We'll answer any
All right, I'm going to go to a couple of questions. I apologize about the service a little bit. He is cutting off a little bit, but we are going to do our best. If he's not answering, I can go ahead and answer. Can you guys hear me okay? You guys want to put in the chat if this is fine? Okay, good. All right, so the first question that I have is there an email or a site that we can go for specific questions about the type of investments? Example, requirements for investing in precious metals versus promissory notes. So that's a great question. We actually have on our website, we have a section called the Investment Corner. The Investment Corner has actually been investment options that other clients have done in the past. And what we've done is we vetted out those investment. We are a passive custodian, so we're not allowed to tell you where to invest your money in, but we do want to give you options, and we want to give you options that have been done by other clients and that we see that are good options for you. So if you want to go ahead and talk to one of our representatives, they'll walk you through it. We have people on staff all the time that can walk you through the different options. Or if you just want to go check it out, it's on horizontrust.com and you go to Investment Corner. You can go ahead and see a lot of investment opportunities there. I have an anonymous attendee says, I have both 401k and Roth accounts with Horizon Trust. It is under my solo KLLC with checkbook control. I transferred my money into a bank that is eligible to manage self-directed IRA. My question is, can I invest this money in stocks under traditional IRA account using a brokerage firm? So I want some, they mentioned 401k, Roth, and IRA. I think what they're trying to say is just a 401k under a self-directed, a checkbook control LLC. So if that is the question, and if not, you can go ahead and put on the chat, like if you meant something else. The answer is yes. If you have an LLC that it has all qualified funds, what you would do is you would go to any brokerage account that accepts LLCs, set up the brokerage account in the name of the LLC, and you can go ahead and start making transactions through there. It is a qualified account, so all profits and losses, well, profits, because we're all going to make money, profits are going to go back into the LLC and then back into your Horizon Trust account. So just make sure that you don't take anything personally. Everything goes back to the LLC, then back to Horizon for distributions when you're ready to distribute. But the answer is yes, you can go ahead and set up a brokerage account. The slide. So Jennifer here is saying the slide said you can't have W-2 income to have a solo 401k. I'm an S corp with W-2 now, no other employees. Can I have a 401k? The answer, yes. So Greg is saying yes. Yes, you can. So when it comes to other employees, if you're the owners of that S corp, if they are allowed to have a 401k, you just cannot have any additional employees. The reason for that is because it goes into another type of account that you can have, which is a regular 401k sponsored by your company. That is not something that we offer. We do have SEP IRAs, which is a different kind of account. So either way, if you wanted to go ahead and talk to somebody, just get on the phone with one of our representatives, go over your specific scenario to make sure that we understand what you're trying to do, and then we'll go over your options with you. But if it's just you as a W-2 employee, you actually need that to go ahead and make your W-2 employee contributions. You can definitely have a solo 401k with us. Let me go ahead and see here. Can someone open a self-directed IRA if they do not have a current IRA or former IRA? For example, someone who doesn't have solid work history but does have occasional lump sum of money, like tax refund. Do you want to go over that, Greg, really quick?
Yeah. Well, look, people that can open up a retirement account are individuals that have income. So if you have income from the year, then you can open up a retirement account and contribute. If you have no income, if it's just inherited or just money you have in a savings account from prior years, you can't make contributions. It's got to be based upon some kind of income, working income that you have, and that dollar amount and type of account is something that we can help you on a call. So you can open up a self-directed IRA. We'll help you with the right type. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lucy actually adds to that question, says, can I open an IRA in the name of an adult child in the above situation? So,
if the adult child has income,
yeah,
and then yes, they can open it up. Yes.
you can definitely do that. But you do need earned income, and that's an IRS rule. That's not our rule. That is something that the IRS put together for this type of account. Claudia is asking, where do you put the money that is transferred to Horizon?
Good question. That is held in trust with several different banks. So we bank with large, from the biggest to regional banks, but we bank at there's probably 8 different banks and other custodians and CDs and money market accounts. But for the most part, I would say majority of the funds are all really at banks, and your accounts are each account, similar to a bank account, is insured up to $250,000. And so we maintain that standard as well for all of our clients as well. So that is not the goal. So the goal is you don't want your money sitting with us at the trust company. You want it, once it arrives, to kind of get it vested in different areas. But while it is sitting there, it is protected like a traditional bank up to $250,000 per client.
Yeah, and the way that it works for our process, we're very hands-on and getting you guys invested. Obviously, we can't give you we're passive custodians, so we're not allowed to tell you which investment to do, but we do have a process where we'll go through the consultation, set up the account, then we'll actually call the custodian with you on the phone, the resigning custodian, to transfer the funds over. We'll follow up every 2 to 3 days to make sure that the funds are moving in the right direction. And then once we receive them here, we'll set you up with an account specialist appointment so that they can go over your investment opportunity and go over what the process is to actually get that invested. So total is 2 to 3 weeks, and you'll have your money wherever you're looking to make that investment. So it's a pretty good process that we have here, and we'll help you through the whole time. Somebody says that you need somebody to come and check your internet line. Just wanted to say that.
I won't do it. I won't do it outside again. I won't be outside again.
Okay, so I have Charles here that is saying, what is the fair rate when you loan money in a flip? I'm asking because I'm a contractor / investor.
What's the fair rate to pay or to? Well, I guess it goes both ways.
I think he's asking
I
both
would say in
ways.
general,
Yeah.
it's really what you're willing to pay and or to receive. And so for me, like I like to be at 12% if I'm paying something, but when I'm receiving and I'm lending my money out, I like to be a little higher than that. I like to be at 14 or 15%. So that's where I'm at personally, but everyone's different. There's times, by the way, that I like to invest in certain individuals. And so I'll take a lesser rate because I just feel better about that project or that person. And sometimes, 20% interest rate might look really sexy, but if it's with the wrong person, 20% can end up being zero. So it's really about trust and experience. So I say that range. I'd say in the 10 to 15% range.
Very good. I have Zania has a great question. It says, if I want to be a private money lender, is there a time frame that monies have to be paid back into my account after lending?
Not necessarily. There needs to be a contract in place on when it's supposed to be paid back. Could be 5 years, could be 10 years, could be 15 years.
Yeah, and that goes back to trusting the person or the IRA that you're partnering with or you're lending to. So definitely do your due diligence, make sure that you're comfortable with the terms, that they're comfortable with the terms, and then just come up with what makes sense for everybody. Can I lend money to my girlfriend? Oh, did my chat go? Sorry. My chat went away. Oh, there it is. This one was a good one. I know the answer, but I want to ask it. Can I lend money to my girlfriend to buy a property and live with her rent free?
The answer is how long you been dating her? I'm joking. That's not the answer. Um, no, the quick answer is technically you can lend to your girlfriend, but what I would say is the investment it's still an investment, and you cannot live with your girlfriend. So if your IRA lends to your girlfriend, and she lives in the house, and by the way, I'm not advising this, but and you don't, that works. But if you are going to that house, living in that house, you cannot lend to her. Does that make sense?
Yes. Um, so I have Larnie said, say you use the self-directed account money to buy a rental property that's near a university. Then you have a sister who wants to rent it to, wait, who wants to rent it to, but your son happened to be going to that school and decides to live with his aunt. I think they're getting very specific, and it goes back to the prohibited. I read it and I was like, yeah, no, is this considered prohibited?
I actually really appreciate the creativity. But no, it's in the wrong tree.
Yeah.
There's no going over there. So they cannot stay there. No, you need to sell it or have someone else stay there. Yeah.
Yeah, you
And
need
and
to
very
definitely.
yeah, Claudia Brown is that is creative. I like the creative juices there, but just as creative as you're trying to do that, there's other creative things you could be doing. For example, you could be lending to other, so you could lend to a friend who buys the rental property, and vice versa. They could lend to you, where you can buy a rental property, and your sister or son can stay there. It's different. It's not what you're looking for, but you can get creative, but you can't go stay at the house with where your IRA's money's at.
Or your son,
I
yes.
like it. I like the creativity, but no.
All right, we have David and Dorothy. He said they are saying, "Hi, Greg. If we change our LLC to an S corp and make the two of us employees, can we then establish an SDIRA Roth with Horizon? And is that process deductible by the LLC?" I think they're asking for a 401k Roth account, which is absolutely yes, you can do. It would be a totally different type of account, so it has to be its own account number and its own account establishment. But if you call your IRA specialist, they will be able to go over that with you and how to go ahead and get that established.
I mean, you're asking hard. I mean, I know you guys, and you guys ask the hard questions. See, I was gonna have to ask the CPA on that. So
Can you take we have a lot of questions. I'm going up, and as I go up there's more questions. So this is good. Charles is asking, what is the ratio of buy-in to monthly payouts or reinvestments? So if I pay in $5,000, what is the immediate return the following month? I am comparing this to a REIT investment. I am interested in offering 12% annually.
so I'm not sure that I totally understand the question. So I'll try.
I think
I
this
feel like
depends
you're
on.
comparing an investment. It depends upon the
Mhm.
investment that you're choosing. So if you were to put $5,000, I mean, look, I can give you examples all day long. I can give you bad examples and good examples. Well, I've got clients that will wholesale one deal a year. They will get their Roth, their $5,000 Roth will put they wholesale one deal in a whole year, right? So they'll put it under contract. They'll sell that contract for $20,000. Their $5,000 got back a return of $20,000 in 60 days. That's a 400% rate of return. So there's no comparison there. Now look, if I gave you the kind of the best case scenario, right? That's not always typical of all these accounts, right? I wouldn't say it's. I mean, it happens more times than you'd think, but I'd say in general, it really depends upon what investment you choose and what you find. If you can't find something that beats that REIT that you're talking about, then you shouldn't do it. You should invest in that REIT. No, like that's there's no comparison. But if you have an individual or somebody or a project or deal that has a better return than the REIT, then you make that decision. We don't make that decision on your behalf. So if you give us $5,000, when you say give us, when you open up an account and put $5,000 at Horizon Trust, we don't invest it for you. it's going to sit there until you tell us to put it into something. I don't know if that was the, hopefully I answered the question though.
Yep, I think that's what they were asking.
And my internet is crushing it,
Yeah, you're
right?
doing good.
Crushing it. My
I would,
internet's
I
so
would,
good right
I
now.
would, I would pitch in if it wasn't good. I would. Is there a max percent amount that you can pull out of the solo? Okay, I think Wendy's asking about the loan option. So it's 50% of your account value or 50,000, whichever is less. So the maximum you can pull out is 50,000 if you're at 100,000 or more, or 50% of the account. And again, that's a 5-year loan. You would be paying yourself prime plus 2 is the typical what the IRS recommends, and you would be paying yourself back that interest from your retirement account.
I'll just add to that. And if you didn't mean that question that way, and just said when you can, how much can you pull out? After you're 59 and a half, if that's what you mean, you can pull out all of your retirement funds. Doesn't necessarily make the most sense unless you're going to use all those funds immediately to buy something, etc. But you can start taking out any amount of your retirement account at age 59 and a half.
That is correct. Gina is asking, is there a fee for your service to create the SDIRA and move my funds to your company?
Yes, there is a fee. The fee is kind of a laddered fee, and so it depends upon the account size. And after year one, the first year there's an annual setup fee, but after year one, every year thereafter, it's on a sliding scale, and so it ranges anywhere from 25 basis points to 1% to 100 basis points. So 1% is 100 basis points, and 1/4% is 25 basis points. The larger the account, the smaller the basis points. So our average account at Horizon Trust Company is close to $100,000. You're going to pay around $700 a year, $750 a year. And just to put that in perspective, when you talk about fees, most of you, if you're investing in the stock market, are paying anywhere from 1, 2, or 3% in the stock market every year. Now, you might not believe that, but if you were to actually do the research on what your money is invested in, what mutual funds or stocks that you're in, there's different debt loads, different ratio fees that you're paying. And so just be aware that you're probably paying 1 to 3%. We're 1% or less per year. And what I think is the most important part about that is we're an all-inclusive fee schedule. The only additional fees that you'll get from us is really tax forms. If there's additional tax forms that are needed, there's a fee for that, as we have outside people that prepare those forms. But all your others, buy, sells, wire fees, you'll never get a wire fee. If you don't wire something every single day, we'll never charge you a wire fee. So that's my fee spiel.
Okay, thank you. If I send you advertisements for hard money loans at 17% that have been mailed to me, can I charge my 401k 17% as well? I don't understand that question, James. Did you understand it, Greg?
I don't know that I quite understood that. Maybe James, if you
Yeah.
can clarify that for us.
Yeah,
Sorry.
James, go ahead and clarify so that I can. You mentioned prime plus 2. Oh, okay. So he's talking about the interest. So he's asking, can I charge myself 17% interest rate for the 401k loan?
You can charge higher rate. Now you're moving into the creative space. Whoever got creative with me earlier, I like it. If you understood what I talked about, which you did because you're asking the right question, you're getting creative. How much can you charge yourself is what you're asking me. Can I charge myself 17%? The answer is yes. It becomes this more gray issue, and talk to your CPA answer or issue, or even your investor. Your advisor, legal advisor is what I should say. But that being said, you can charge a fair rate to your 401k loan. That is a bit ambiguous, and that's the way the rules read. So that's how I'm answering it. Could you charge 17? Most likely, yes. Now, some people I've seen tried to get real creative and say, I'm going to borrow $50,000 and pay back my 401k loan at 100% interest rate, because what they're trying to do is stockpile their 401k. Now, that wouldn't be exorbitant. That would be over the top. So get creative, but not too creative. And I can't give you a perfect example of what the interest rate means of being creative or not creative, but you're on the right track by asking the question.
I agree. There's a lot of questions about the investment corner. We went over any investment opportunities that we have seen other clients do are on our website. If you're our client, you can join the Facebook group. This is a new feature that we just launched about 3 weeks ago, and it's going great. I see clients always interacting with each other, just asking questions. We have people from our team that actually answers questions if it is a Horizon Trust process question. So join our Facebook group. If you don't have it, ask your IRA specialist and they'll be able to give you the information. Okay, we'll go over maybe 1 or 2 more questions because we are nearing the 1 hour.
Good questions. I've seen some good questions come over too. Like, hey, how can I do that wholesale deal? I saw that question. How can I find them? I saw that question as well. So I'll answer that, Claudia, before you ask another question. The easiest answer I can give you when it comes to wholesaling is it is a hot topic. I see more and more people, successful real estate people, in wholesaling. So I would say learn about it first. Obviously, you can go to social media, you can go to websites, you can go to events, but go find people that are currently wholesaling. And look, end of the day, all this does take work. None of this is a simple like click on here and I can just now find wholesale deals. There's individuals that are doing it well in your communities at events. Go learn and find your first deal. If you just learned how to wholesale and it took you a full year to do one deal, look at the example I just gave you. You could turn a $5,000 deal into $25,000. So don't let that intimidate you. It's going to take a little bit of work, a little bit of education and time. Or you can find other people doing it and maybe you can be their partner. And I think that's what they call it. What does Pace call that? Is sub 2, is Gator lending, where you could be the person putting up the money for somebody who's wholesaling and get a percentage of the profits. There's all kinds of deals like that as well.
We just had 5 people asking.
Sorry, I jumped ahead on one of those questions. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome to the family.
Yeah. So do you want to go ahead and wrap up? The only other thing I wanted to bring up is Alex is going to go ahead and put the link on the chat. If you want to speak to an IRA specialist, go ahead and book your appointment. There are a lot of questions on the chat that maybe if I didn't get to your question or your client, you want to just talk to somebody, just book an appointment and we'll be able to answer any questions. Follow Greg on Instagram. He puts out a lot of content. We've put a lot of effort and energy in the last year to really give you content that you're asking for based on these webinars, based on what we talk about as a team. He is doing podcasts and he's doing webinars all the time now, and all of that content will be in his YouTube channel and his Instagram. I'll have Alex put that in the chat as well. And yeah, you can go ahead and wrap it up, Greg.
Look, I appreciate it. Thanks for the comments and chatting, being interactive, and great questions, and some fun stuff too, and some creativity. I'll also ask, I've never done this before, but we appreciate referrals. That's where we get a lot of our business. And I know we ask via email sometimes or at the end of a phone call, but one of the greatest compliments is a referral. So if there's any individual that that want to self-direct, please send them our way. We'd love to help them. And if you find someone that could be your investor or partner, send them over our way and we'll help them get their IRA set up. Thanks for spending time with us on this Tuesday, and have a great night. Hey, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. There's lots more great content for you to learn and enjoy and apply to. And so anyways, click on the link below and listen to more videos or set an appointment with us. We look forward to hearing from you and also helping you.